The
of
first
any?
film, the first
Yes.
film I booked was The Color Purple.
Really? See how it's on cue with that
That's
video.
handy.
See how that works, Maria.
That's magic. You're
So
magic.
tell me exactly what that was like, because this film is one of the few films that when I see it, I
When you see that little,
cry.
well, check this out. That little step right there. This is trivia right here. That little step right there. Watch this.
Yeah.
I was about to fall. Apple boxes. Anyway, I digress. But you said you
Hilarious,
right now.
hilarious. No, every time I see the film, I cry.
Aw.
I cry at a certain part of the film every time. I cry. I
Mhm.
mean, we're talking alligator tears.
Oh
And
wow.
I've seen the film probably, oh, 9, 10 times.
Hmm.
I watch it every now and then just because I just love everything about it.
That was such a wonderful
Yeah.
experience.
So what was that like? So this is your first opportunity to work on film, and this is a pretty major doggone film. Steven Spielberg, Oprah Winfrey, Whoopi Goldberg, Margaret Avery, and so on and so forth. So what was that like for you? Can you give us, a thumbnail of what it was like to be on that set as your first job?
Absolutely, it was surreal. I knew nothing. I was green as green could be, so I didn't know what I was doing in the sense of all the acting savvy. I knew none of that because I actually read The Color Purple, the book, on the set.
Mm-hmm.
Because I didn't, I was just happy to be in a movie because I had to go through several levels just to get to that solo spot.
Right.
We auditioned and don't know what I was auditioning for because it was, of course, an extra spot.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Hold on.
Hmm.
This is an extra?
That became a featured extra. Hmm. Hmm.
You, the
Yeah.
show in the heck was featured. So, okay, so did they just choose you? Or what was that process? So let me just clarify. So you were hired onto the job as an extra, correct?
As an ex, well, like I said, I didn't get the first part that I
Right.
was auditioning for. And as we were all leaving the audition, I went back to the casting director and just asked her, would she keep my photo on file? She said, sure. And I said, by the way, I sing.
Mm-hmm.
This is all after the fact, after they've dismissed us. And I said, I sing. Would you, and she goes, oh, what do you know? And I sang God Bless the Child in her ear because I was so shy. Can you believe?
Wow.
Yeah, I was always reserved in that respect. I was always afraid to sing in front of people by myself. Now with a group, we throw down, but by myself, oh, that was just frightening. And I sang in her ear, and then she says, "Well, do you know any gospel?" I'm like, "Well, sure, And she said, "Go work something out." Came back, whisked me on stage. That was actually my screen test. I didn't know what that was. I
Mm.
was just like, "Oh, they put me on tape singing. Yay!" Green. Got back to my job the next day. They called me and said, "We'd like for you to be part of the choir." Ain't nobody saying nothing about no choir. I didn't know what in the world she was talking about, but I was like, count me in. And so when I got down to be part of the choir, down to Marshville, Union and Anson counties, people in North Carolina know where that is. That's not too
Right,
far
right.
from
Mm-hmm.
Charlotte. I auditioned again for the solo spot. The as an actor, we know what breakdowns are. We know what character descriptions and things like that are. So the
Mm-hmm.
breakdown said, older black woman, larger in body mass. I fit none, I fit only one of those black women.
Right, right,
And
right.
so
Right.
the person that chose me, I found out 24 years later after that film that he chose me because I reminded him of his mother
Mm.
on the choir. And he said he wanted me. And the other casting directors were like, well, that's not what we want. That's not what's in the description. And he said, no, I want her. And
Mm.
that's nothing but favor from God. That.
Sure is. That is amazing. That's an amazing story. You know, well, it is a featured extra, but I thought you were, principal. Did you ever? Now, here's a question that only, a super fan like myself would ask. Were you directed by Steven Spielberg?
I
Did he
was.
say, he said to do this, say that, look this way to you personally?
Yes, he did. Steven Spielberg made me feel like I could be an actor. When you have your first project and Steven Spielberg is your director, you don't know the difference. You just take it and do it, right? And
Right, right,
I'll never
right.
forget when that scene was over, when they had wrapped me. He and Quincy Jones came up to me, hugged me, and kissed me. And Gordon Parks was the still photographer on that project. I still don't. I wish I had that photo because I was right in between the two of them.
Gordon
And of
Parks.
course, Quincy was the musical director on that film. So,
And producer.